created as administrator right now. We're going to call our user, email address user at localhost, password user, status is active, create new account. Okay. So I'm going to log out and then log in as user just to make sure that they can create this content type. User. So I'm logged in as user and waiting on my slow computer. I can create content, and yes, the user can create a sighting. So let's just say, well, let's not create a sighting now. Let's just leave it like it is. So I'm going to go back to administrator. And right now our sighting just has a title and a body, which is really not what we want. So we're going to edit this sighting content type to be more what we want. The way that we categorize nodes in Drupal is through the taxonomy system. And taxonomy is how we just add tags, subjects, categorization to nodes. And so we're going to add a vocabulary that's going to describe our sighting content. So what would describe a sighting? One of the things would be type of ET. And this vocabulary describes our sighting content type. So we're going to click sighting. You can let people put in tags. You can let, that's where they type in their own tags. But we're going to have a controlled vocabulary where we specify what you can pick. So I'm going to go ahead and create this vocabulary. So we have one vocabulary now called type of ET. It applies to the sighting content type. So now we're going to add some terms to our vocabulary. So our vocabulary is type of ET. So our terms are going to be types of aliens. So I always thought that the little Drupal guy, who's called a Druplicon, he looks like an alien. So we're just going to put in Druplicon as one type. So what are some other types of aliens? What? Oh, yeah. Dave Mon is a type of extraterrestrial. Yeah, they took all the chairs, so.
There's some broken ones over there you can have.
And let's just add one more alien type, Cylon. We could add 100 more alien types. I just want to add a few. And it's nice that they all end with ON, including Dave Mon. So. Oh. Somehow that didn't work. Cylon. So these terms are going to allow us to describe our alien sighting content type. Oops, somehow I got two Cylon, so let me delete one here. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so we've got 3 alien types here. We could add other vocabularies, like in this instance we might add purpose of alien visit, like cattle mutilation or human probing or something like that. But we'll just stick with one vocabulary for now. So now when I create some content of our alien sighting, there's a box for type of ET, and so I can pick which one it is. Well, for our alien sighting, this title field really doesn't make much sense. You know, because you're not going to really title your alien sighting. And I happen to know of a module that you can install that will hide this title field. So let's do that. First of all, if you're looking for modules, you'll go to the main Drupal site, drupal.org.
Title might be a date.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. We're actually going to create a date field later.
Oh, okay.
So let's go over here to modules and just to get an idea of how that part of the site looks. We can search for modules, obviously, but the default view that it has is it lists a bunch of modules arranged by popularity. When you install a Drupal site, most of the time people enable a module that reports back to the main Drupal site which modules are being used. So Drupal.org has statistics on, you know, how much the modules are used. You can get like a bar graph here somewhere. Yeah, view usage statistics. And you can see that, you know, a whole lot of people use the views module, you know, over 200,000. So that's a good way to get an idea of how popular modules are, and that's a good idea to get an idea. That's a good way to get an idea of how useful the modules are. You can bet that the views being the #1 module is pretty darn useful, and we're actually going to use it a little bit later. But the module that we're looking for is called auto node title. And that's actually not what we want. Let me go back to modules. Okay, search modules, that's what we want. Auto node title. So let's search for auto node title. Okay. This is a module called automatic node titles. It says it's a small module that allows hiding of the content title field in the form, and that's exactly what we want. This download link right here is a direct link to the tarball, so you can just click it and download it. But I've already got it downloaded, so let's go ahead and install it. To install a module, all you have to do is untar it into the modules directory for the site. If it's a module that you're going to be wanting to use on multiple sites, put it in the all directory under sites. There's actually not a directory there. So I'm going to create a directory called modules within sites and go inside there. And I'm going to untar the auto node titles module. Drupal tarballs modules auto node titles. Okay. So all we needed to do was untar the module in the modules directory. And that makes it available for Drupal to use. You still have to go into Drupal and enable it. So let's do that. Administer.
Inside that module, this got to create its own directory so that the different modules should have that.
Yeah, each module is in its own directory, and these directories have to be uniquely named. And one of the reasons that the modules are listed on the Drupal site is because they each have to have a unique name because of the way that modules are called. They're called by name. So if two modules have the same name, that's a problem. So let's enable our automatic node title module. So I'm here under administer modules. And there's a bunch here. You can see that Drupal comes with a lot of modules that aren't enabled by default. So I'm just going to hide these because we don't need any. And here's our automatic node titles. Save configuration. And that's going to let me edit my citing content type. To automatically generate the title and hide the title field. So let's save that. So now let's look at our citing creation form. And okay, so the title field went away, which is what we want. Now we've got type of ET and citing report, which is what we want so far. Okay, well, it's still not how we want. It'd be nice if people could put in a date of the citing and a location of the citing. And the way that we add fields to nodes or to content types is through another widely used module called Content Construction Kit. I'm just going to install that module here. The module Content Construction Kit is usually abbreviated CCK, and it's one of the most widely used modules. Let me untar it. I've actually got a lot of modules, and instead of installing them one by one, I'm going to just go ahead and untar them right now, and then we'll see them as we come to them. I'm just going to untar them all in one go. Okay.
These books have to be back or something.
Yeah, they do. If you look inside the cover, there's like some info on that. Okay. So what I've just done is I've untarred a bunch of tarballs into my modules directory. And you can see right there is the CCK module. That's the one we're enabling right now. So let's enable that module. Configuring a Drupal site involves a lot of clicking, a lot of mouse work. So modules. And so here's the CCK Content Construction Kit section. So I'm going to enable content. What else am I going to enable? While I'm on this page, I'm just going to enable some modules that we're going to need later on down the line. Let's see. The hardest part of Drupal, I think, is knowing what modules to use and what modules to enable. You might want to just go ahead and enable all of them, but you're going to take a performance hit if you do that. Okay, so we're going to want date later on down the line because we're going to attach dates to our citings. We're going to need this devel module later, so I'll just click that. We're going to need this. We're going to need gmap. We're going to need gmap location. We're going to need location. We're going to need node locations. We're going to need user locations. We're going to need views. Okay. I'm just enabling all these right now, so hopefully I don't have to go back to this page. So you notice that I need some prerequisite modules, so we're going to enable those.
It automatically adds
Yeah.
prerequisite modules.
Uh-huh. You know, because modules can depend on other modules. Okay, so hopefully we enabled all the modules that we need, and I won't have to go back there. So what we're doing now is we're adding a date field